Yo, what is up guys, it Ghost here. Welcome back to another video, and in this one, we've got a very interesting article to go over from DICE. Some of you may have noticed that some big changes have come into Portal, and what they've done really is stop the amount of XP that you gain per round. They've stopped pretty much all progression when it comes to challenges, when it comes to daily missions, weekly missions, all that sort of stuff. And so in this article, they've kind of explained why they've done that, but also what they're planning to do in the future. And then in addition to that, we've also got some new information about the Battle Royale, and it looks like DICE may be gearing up to shadow drop it secretly on the 28th along with Season 1. So, as always, we're going to jump into all of this in a second. If you guys enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button to stay up to date with everything Battlefield. And without further ado, let's just jump into the first subject of today's video. And that is this article here. It's called Battlefield 6 Community Update on community servers and Portal experiences. So they say, hello everyone, as we mentioned last week, we are in the process of addressing some known issues that are affecting Portal's community tab and the availability of servers and experiences there. Recently we shared that we're making changes to reduce the number of XP farm servers appearing in the server browser and community experiences. These servers have made it harder for players to discover the kinds of experiences Portal was created for. We have organized a series of changes to emphasize our commitment to highlighting the player community and making this a space where you can celebrate creativity, find unique experiences, play with friends, and build communities. As part of this effort, we've rolled out several back-end updates to support healthier matchmaking and better overall experiences in Portal. This includes resolving unintended systems that affected XP progression and balance across experiences, and for now, removing bots from verified experiences to help improve the overall quality of matches. So these are some of the updates that they've made. So first off, verified experiences with bot backfill, which means that if you don't have players in your round, it will simply automatically fill up with bots. Any experience with that disabled will continue to grant full progression and XP, but obviously if you have that on, and a lot of Portal servers do, then it won't. Custom experiences will continue earning reduced progression regardless of whether bots are active. This keeps creative freedom and allows you to express yourself within Portal while maintaining progression balance. So custom experiences is really just anything slightly outside of the ordinary. So if you make your own custom map, if you have any special rules going on in there, automatically you will not be getting full XP and progression. To pick up these changes properly and have an experience earn full XP, any qualifying experience would need to be unpublished, have bot backfill disabled, and then republished again. Servers, including persistent ones, may occasionally need to be restarted. These brief interruptions may continue until ongoing improvements are fully implemented. So at an initial glance, we started to see a decline in PvE servers with fewer active players, while PvP servers, where players compete against one another, are becoming more active. PvE options are still available through custom experiences, but verified experiences with full XP are starting to better reflect our focus on player versus player gameplay. Also, we're still exploring the potential solutions that address current issues that would allow us to reintroduce bots in the future while continuing to deliver a great player experience. So basically what they're saying here is that since they've implemented these changes, which actually once they put out this blog post today, these changes did take place a few days ago now, they've seen a reduction in the amount of XP farm servers, in the amount of, servers just playing with and against bots, and an increase in the PvP ones, which I do think is a good thing, with a bit of a caveat, and I'll get to that in a little bit later on after the article. So regarding challenges, we wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that we have seen the discussion that these farming servers are necessary due to the difficulty of challenges or issues affecting them. We are actively working on updates for challenges and will share details as progress is made in this area. What is next for Portal? We believe the best Battlefield moments happen when players connect and compete in shared player-driven experiences. The kind of experiences that capture the unpredictability, teamwork, and intense moments that define Battlefield. These updates will move us closer to that goal. We'll continue to monitor, adjust, and refine Portal and community experiences as issues are resolved. At the same time, we want to recognize the incredible creativity and passion within the Portal community. It's been truly inspiring. From faithful recreations of classic modes to completely original ideas, your imagination continues to impress us, and we are committed to fostering that innovation moving forward. We have also seen a few questions about verified experiences and official servers. The Battlefield official servers are legitimate, official servers created and maintained by the Battlefield team. You'll see them listed in the server browser under Battlefield Official or BF Portal Official Account. Both names refer to the same verified source. These servers host persistent official Battlefield experiences like Conquest, Breakthrough, and Rush with standard vanilla settings. Currently, multiple persistent servers are hosted under Battlefield Official, so players can reliably find populated matches without needing to rely on bots or random matchmaking. We also maintain a variety of verified experiences such as hardcore, infantry, and close weapons variants that appear in the featured experiences section or through the search function. These experiences are intended to rotate regularly to keep the gameplay fresh and reward full XP. And here's a bit of a screenshot. You can see on the right here whether a server is rewarding full XP, and in this case we have Hardcore Rush. You can see it's created by BF Portal Official, so you know this is going to be like a full XP server. Most of them, though, at the moment will only have a 150% match completion bonus here and 0 for all the rest. Now, if you're wondering how you can join these official servers, you go to the community tab in the main menu, select an experience such as Hardcore Conquest, and then you click View More by Creator in the bottom left corner. And from there, you can then see all of the Battlefield Portal official modes, and you can choose a mode for you and your friends to play like Hardcore Conquest, and then you can browse or you can host a server yourself and share the name and host with friends so they can easily join you. So it's pretty self-explanatory how you host those kinds of experiences. And then just to finish this one off, they say Season 1 is almost here. We have other updates and changes planned for Season 1 based on your feedback. We are actively finalizing these details to share with you, and thank you for your continued feedback, the Battlefield team. So I kind of feel like this is good for the game, right? I think XP farm servers shutting down, especially the ones where you're basically just like AFK farming. I get why people did that in Battlefield 2042 because nobody wanted to miss out on the Battlefield 6 skins, and in a way, we were like forced to play Battlefield 2042 to unlock them, but nobody wanted to. So I can understand why it was so prevalent in that game, but Battlefield 6 is a great game, right? It's not Battlefield 2042. It's really fun. And so if people are wanting to unlock things in the game via these farming servers instead of playing the game, why is that? There has to be a reason behind that. And in my opinion, I think the reason is maybe one of two things. First of all, some people just want to play with bots. Maybe it's because they're not very good at the game. Maybe it's because the game is very like high octane action all the time. You know, after a couple of hours of playing, I'm sometimes just a little bit burnt out. And I think some folks like to hop in around against bots just to like chill out and relax, you know, have it a little bit more easygoing. But if they're not going to offer any experience, then I don't think they're going to do that anymore. Now, I think the other one, and the reason, of course, for all of these XP farm servers, is a lot of the challenges in the game. And the way that I would actually like to see DICE limit the XP in Portal is, I think limiting career XP and weapon XP is fine. Because whenever you use a weapon, whenever you play the game, you're getting career XP, and those things aren't really difficult to acquire. But a lot of the different challenges, and it doesn't really matter whether it's, weapon challenges, camo challenges, daily ones, like weekly assignments and all that sort of stuff, the game very heavily dictates how you should play the game. And if I take an example for myself here, let's say one of the weekly challenges is get 30 kills with a sniper rifle. Well, I don't really play recon very often, I'm not a good sniper, and so it's going to take me multiple rounds using a weapon and a class that I don't personally enjoy in order to get that achievement, right? So if you think about it, I've got three different options. Option number one, I can just put my head down and play round after round, maybe getting like 5 kills because I suck at sniping, but I want the XP reward from the weekly mission. Number two, I can just say, you know what, I'm not going to let the FOMO get to me. I don't care about the mission, and I'm just going to play the game the way that I want. But these systems are clearly designed around FOMO, and you feeling like you don't want to miss out, right? The guy next to you is getting that XP, he's progressing ahead of you, and you want to stay ahead of the curve as well. And then the third option, and the easiest one for me, is simply to go into a Portal server against bots, get my 30 kills within about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm done with it in the fastest times possible. I get my XP reward, and I can go back to playing the game the way I like to play. Like, I really do think, in part, this is a result of their own design for this game, guys, because I just want to play Battlefield 6 the way I want to play. The game mode I want to play, the class I want to play, the weapon I want to play. And again, when it comes to career XP and weapon XP, that's very vague. It's very easy to get those experiences. So I think it's okay for them to nerf that in Portal, but making it so you can't complete any of the challenges in Portal is going a bit too far. And if we go and look at Battlefield 2042, like, I can assure you, every week you got the weekly missions for the Battle Pass, everybody went straight to Portal, man. Or they went straight to the Conquest versus bots, or Breakthrough versus bots, which was actually a regular official mode where you could play against bots and unlock those challenges and those weekly missions a lot easier. And again, the reason behind that is because they're trying to force us to play the game in ways that we don't necessarily want to. So you've got a choice. You can either grind it out and play the game and sort of, be miserable doing something you don't want to be doing, or you can just kind of cheese it in Portal, or you can just say, okay, I don't care about the rewards from that, but then you're also missing out in that way. So that's what I think I'd like to see. They need a bit of a go-between there. I think we should still be able to complete the weekly missions and some of these harder challenges against bots. But yeah, maybe they do need to reduce the amount of XP you get for your career and for the weapons, just to stop people from, like, full-on farming that all day long. Okay, moving on from that, let's talk about something slightly more exciting here. So it sounds like the Battle Royale for Battlefield 6 may be getting shadow dropped on the 28th of October along with Season 1. And this had been leaked many, many months ago. It had been rumoured that this was the case. Do take this with a grain of salt, guys, because it's not been officially confirmed by EA or the Battlefield Studios or anybody, so we don't really know if it's going to happen. But I have found a couple of sources that have already indicated that is going to be the case. So first of all, I want to show you guys a screenshot from a Reddit thread, and thank you to somebody who posted this in the Discord. Sorry, I've forgotten who it was, but you're appreciated, so thank you for that. Daniel UK400, this guy here, aka the API man, he generally goes into the API of Battlefield builds and finds interesting things. He's basically a data miner of sorts. And here he says, I can see preparations for Battle Royale release at 3 PM UTC on the 28th of October. And 3 PM UTC is when DICE generally like to announce things. They will have, like, whenever they have their daily announcements, for example, like this blog post, they will generally go up at that exact time. He says, since there are no hints from EA, I could be mistaken, but it is possible that they'll just drop it. And he says, can you provide further details on what preparations means? And he says, I've been tracking Granite clients, which is like the code name for the Battle Royale, and it's been renamed to Battlefield and set to release on the 28th of October at 3 PM. Also, the EA app is getting ready for new Granite product, which will have store page and a game hub like Battlefield 6. And then just shortly after this, Tom Henderson, who is known for insider gaming, where he basically leaks a lot of stuff, he says, I can now independently verify that Battlefield 6 Battle Royale is indeed planned to shadow drop on October the 28th. So again, we haven't heard a whisper, not so much as a whisper from EA or the Battlefield Studios that this is going to be the case. And if they were going to have a marketing push, I mean, we've already seen stuff from content creators on Season 1, so we would have already seen stuff about the Battle Royale as well. And the fact that we haven't either means it's going to be a shadow drop, they're just going to be like, yo, here it is, enjoy, or this is all false. Now, I am definitely in the camp that I really do think they're going to shadow drop it there, and I'll tell you why I think that is, not just because of the leaks here out of two, fairly reputable sources when it comes to leaks, but also because if you think about Warzone, what happened with that? They had Modern Warfare 2019, and Warzone, it just came out of nowhere. And what was the result? It did incredibly well. It made a lot of money for Activision Blizzard. And who's working on Battlefield, guys? Byron Beatty, the guy who was responsible for Warzone. So I'm almost certain he said, hey, it worked for Activision Blizzard, it worked for Warzone and Call of Duty, let's do the same thing for Battlefield. And let's not build up the hype around it. Let's not make a big thing out of it. Let's just drop it, and people will hype it up for themselves when they realize how good of a Battle Royale it is. Now, I know that Battle Royale is something that's a little bit controversial for Battlefield players. They don't really care for that game mode too much. And I have to be honest, I didn't care for it either. But you guys will have seen months ago, there were leaks out of Battlefield Labs that it was tested there. And you guys know I'm in Battlefield Labs, so therefore you know that I've tried it. And whilst I can't really comment on it, I think you guys are in for a surprise. You know, me being where you guys were, being somebody who doesn't like Battle Royale, doesn't really get into that as a genre, playing it in Battlefield was different. So I would keep your mind open, you know, keep your expectations open. Don't just assume that it's going to be like a terrible experience, like I see a lot of people saying. You know, give it a try. It's going to be free either way. Like I said, it's not certain. It's not a certainty that it's going to drop on the 28th, but we can only hope. I do think, I would say in my mind, it's maybe like an 80-90% probability, but I guess we'll see soon enough. All right, I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6. And I will see you all in the next one.